So, I actually feel really bad about the fact that I haven't made any real booktube videos yet. So, I'm gonna rant for a little bit. I attempted to do booktube over the summer. I didn't make a video for it. Well, actually, I did. It was up for like 3 hours or something, and then I was like, this is too terrible. You can't hear anything I'm saying. You can't see me. So, I just took it down. But I did attempt to do booktube, and one of the things you had to do was read a book with blue on the cover. I chose These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. These Broken Stars is one of the worst books I have ever read in my entire life. I know a lot of people really love this book, and I don't know why, and I wasn't prepared for what I was going in for because I thought it was going to be great, and it wasn't. So, the way that it was described to me was Titanic in space, and I was like, heck yeah, I love Titanic, I love space, give it to me. What it actually is it's this girl named Lilac LaRue, and she's not quite royalty, but she's very high class. And she's like, okay, well, I'm a sensible girl, and I know that that guy's attractive, but if I talk to him, it's gonna get us both in trouble. Tarver, the attractive one that she's talking to, his mindset is, that girl rejected me, so now I want her to die, and I'm gonna think about pulling up her dress when she's unconscious. And then we're supposed to want them to be together? I don't get it. I don't understand. So, you have these two characters, one of them who I guess you're supposed to, dislike because she rejected him, but she rejected him for good reason. Plus, you should definitely not feel bad about rejecting someone if they're going to be that much of a dick about you rejecting them. But I guess we're not really supposed to like her, or we're supposed to be upset that she rejected him. And then he's just really angry, and he winds up saving her life a little bit when the airship that they're in, it's not an airship, it's a spaceship, it crashes because it's Titanic in space. So he saves her life, and you can tell that you're supposed to have this quality of like, oh my god, he's still such an amazing person because he saved her even though he hates her. But if he hadn't saved her, he would have been one of the worst people in the entire world. Right? It's not just me thinking that. If he had seen her and then not tried to save her, all because he was mad at her for, rejecting him, wouldn't he have been one of the worst people in the entire world? I'm pretty sure he would have. So, they crash, and they survive because Lilac figures out how to do something. Lilac has skills, and she saves their life right after he saves her life. So clearly, they should be, balanced. Either he should be, indebted to her a little bit because, wow, you just saved my life, we could have died. Or it should be a complete balance, everything's wiped clean, because he saved her life, she saved his. It's not. For the rest of the book, she's like, you saved my life, and he's like, I saved your life. She saved your life too, you massive dickweed. So, they survive, and they go onto the planet, and the rest of the book is them, trying to survive on the planet, and mainly them trying to contact her father, or trying to make anyone realize that they're still lost on this planet. And Lilac, for the most part, is civil as anything. She's so sweet and nice, and she's surviving, and she wants to be able to go and do things. And yet, from his point of view, she is a whiny dick. We can see both points of view. Clearly, she's not being a whiny dick. I don't know what just fell. But since it was written from two different authors, I have to assume that one author took over Tarver's point of view and the other one took over Lilac's, and it just became a really bad god mod. If any of you have ever roleplayed, especially written roleplay, you know what a god mod is. For you who haven't, I will explain. God modding is what happens when you're role-playing with someone, and you have your character, possibly set of characters, they have their characters, and you're doing stuff, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna go play, I'm gonna use my characters, and the other person kind of like comes over and plucks your character up, and is like, no. Like, you could have your main character and her sister. You know both of those people. That character comes in, and they do something, and then the person uses your sister to do something, especially something that your sister would never do. I had a roleplay once where my character was off. It was her first day of school in a new school. It was a very cliche high school sort of roleplay. And I got one line in. I was like, okay, I'm here, new school, this is my name, I established myself. The other person came in, established himself, and then found me crying on the floor. You don't know me like that. And I never said anything about being emotional, never said anything about being on the floor. That's just a complete jump. It's a weird way of interpreting my character. Now I kind of have to go with that unless I want to go back, yell at you, erase that, and probably just stop role-playing with you altogether. So that's what a God mod is, and that's what I have to assume happened here. Lilac, and whoever was writing Lilac, knew her character. She was very well established right from the beginning. She had privilege, but she also had a good understanding of how things work in her atmosphere. She knows how to do things in the way that her world is set up because she has, a higher class. Tarver's character completely changed. He started out as one of those pretentious dicks who's like, nothing here is real. And then he gets really, really nice. And you're like, oh, okay, maybe that was just them trying to show that he's different. And he's nice, and he talks to her, and they have a good conversation. And then as soon as she rejects him, which she doesn't even, really reject him, but she rejects him, he becomes the massive dick. And he just kind of, says terrible things all the time and thinks terrible things about her. And then when they're down on the planet, he starts saying stuff about what she's doing in his point of view. And after, 3 times of him doing that, she changes a little bit. And she starts being whinier. But I love Lilac. Lilac's the only good part of this entire thing, because I think that she's pretty great. And if there hadn't been a love story, if it had just been Lilac on a planet, I would have read it and I would have enjoyed it. Because Lilac was well done. Tarver was not. Their relationship was not. The plot was weird. The very end of the plot is, interesting. If it had just been Lilac and the end of the plot, would have been a good book. But it wasn't. So, it wasn't. So, Lilac starts getting a little whinier, but really it's just her being this guy is being a massive dick to me, so I'm done trying to be nice to him. And then he's like, man, little princess gonna be such a dick, and it's like, you just made that happen. And then eventually they fall in love. For no reason, except for the fact that they're the only people in that planet. That's not a love story. That's terrible. Literally just terrible. And I read that, and that's a big reason why I didn't finish Booktubeathon, because it took me about 3 days to get through it. I kept putting it down for everyone. Everyone who was near me during this experience just kept telling me, stop reading that book. And I was like, no, I can't. Now I have to read it. I need to know. And then I would put the book down and be like, Tarver's such a dick. And they'd be like, stop reading that book. And I was like, I can't. So it ruined my life. And I hate it. And I apologize to anyone who's watching this who really loves these Broken Stars. I also apologize to anyone who has been looking forward to reading it and now knows that it's a terrible, disappointing book. I mean, maybe you'd like it. I know other people like it. I, for one, think it's the reason for illiteracy. It's terrible and I hate it, and yeah, there's very, very few redeeming qualities. So yeah, I just wanted to do a real booktube thing. So this was my first booktubing channel video thing, And if you enjoy the way that I rant and call people dickweeds, then subscribe, come back for more. Hopefully I'll do a book that I actually like next time. Bye!